Good evening and welcome to another edition of the Press Box. A very late edition. I got on late. I apologize to everybody except McCullough.
Thanks, Carson.
You're welcome, buddy. Kenny, how you doing, man?
Doing pretty good. Pretty good. I do have a question though. I'm not sure what month we're in. I mean, 78 degrees in late October. I mean, you don't hear
Yeah,
this.
I know. It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's supposed to be
Let's
80
keep
tomorrow.
going.
Yeah, I'll say. So, doing pretty good. How about you, Brian?
I'm not bad, except for being late tonight, which pissed me off.
Mm.
So, let's go around and have these guys introduce themselves. We'll start with Mike.
All right, I'm Mike Milliken. I am the Mighty Mites coach for the Kish Indians.
Ian?
Ian Peach. I'm the Pee Wee coach for the Kish Indians.
McCullough, you're the president, right?
Yeah, I am in fact the league president. No longer coaching in the CKY. FCL actually bumped up to junior high this year, and I've been coaching for Mifflin County.
Oh, okay. And McVaytown.
Nick Knable. I'm the midget coach for McVaytown.
Hi, Nick. Man, it's been a long time.
Yes, it has.
I'm sorry, who else is with you there?
I'm Bentley Family. I'm the midget.
Oh, Bentley, the wrestler.
Yep.
Hey, Bentley. What weight you going to be?
Either 121 or 130. I don't know yet.
Nice. Always got to get wrestling in there somehow.
Absolutely.
So, big weekend coming up here. It's your championships. Who wants to start it off? Travis. It's the CYKL, right? I don't want to be an idiot.
No, it's actually the Central Keystone Youth Football and Cheer League. We've rebranded the league a little bit this year. It used to just be the Central Keystone Football and Cheer League. We added that youth in there because the board has actually went the direction of becoming an independent 501c3 league. We're independently insured now, and it was just a better route for the league. We were kind of getting raked over the coals by USA Football and things like that. You know, no reps locally wanted to do anything with us. So we decided to go the independent route, and we've actually founded a nonprofit here in Mifflin County with the assistance of some local attorneys and things of that nature. And we've got our own 501c3 nonprofit, and it's the Central Keystone Youth Football and Cheer League.
Okay, and how has the growth been in this league?
We are holding strong with 600 plus participants between football and cheer, Brian. That covers 8 counties, reaching down into even Perry County and some participants from Center and Huntington. And we've really seen some good growth. Our numbers are strong again, you know, and we are actually the area's only feeder program whenever it comes to football, and that includes for Juniata County as well. We're the only youth football program that is operating in Juniata County as well with the Juniata Little Indians.
Well, that's great. That's great that it's going on. Like everybody my age, I was in the what was it, Juniata Valley Football League?
Yep, that's old school. I was a JV. I think everybody on this call was a JVFL guy.
Oh, one day I got to find out. Ian, who'd you play for? Kish?
Yep.
Mike?
Mangoes.
Nick?
McVaytown.
Travis?
Green and white all the way, baby. We were Mingos.
I'm going to tell you how old I am. I played for the Avenue Raiders.
Oh, wow.
Never heard of
Before they became the Little Mingos.
Yep.
Gosh, I'm the only Lewistown guy here.
Poor bastard.
I know.
So, playoffs this weekend. You got your big Super Bowls at Mitchell Field. Is that going to be your last time at Mitchell Field too?
Yes, that is in fact going to be our last time at Mitchell Field, and it actually kicks off on Saturday morning. You can see the league did a press release. I believe Kenny actually shared it with Hometown Sports Scene as well. Um, it kicks off 11 a.m. on Saturday morning with our Mighty Might matchups. Those are the little guys. Those are our bobbleheads. That's our starter program. It kicks off with our 3 and 4 matchup and our 5 and 6 seed matchups. They only play on a 35-yard field, and they're going to head into opposite end zones. We're going to have games going on simultaneously. And then at 1 p.m., that starts our Pee Wee division. Saturday is dedicated all to the Pee Wee division. Every 2 hours, we start a new game, starting with our 5-6 matchup and then 3-4. And in the evening, caps off on Saturday with between the hours of 5 and 7. And Coach Ian actually is the number 1 seed in the league with the Kish Indians, and he'll be facing off and squaring off against McVeigh Eagles. Pretty good matchup right there. Really, really good, solid defenses. It's gonna more than likely be a low-scoring affair. It really will be.
So let's start, Mike. Coaching the Mighty Might. What age group is the Mighty Might?
We have 5 to 7 year olds.
Oh man, how fun is it coaching them?
Oh, it's a blast. This is my 6th year doing it, so it's always fun.
Do they pick up on it pretty good?
For the most part, yeah. I mean, we run a lot of plays, and they pick up on it. So
Keep it pretty basic, right?
Oh no, we don't keep it basic.
Oh, okay. And who are you playing this weekend?
We play McVeigh as well. So McVeigh has all 3 levels in the championship.
Jeez. Have you played them during the year, I assume?
Yeah, we played them twice, and we've come out on top both times, but it's been a close game.
Ian, Pee-wees. I got to tell you something. Mike, Ian, don't get pissed at me. Things have changed. Because when I played, the only team Avenue could beat was Kish. That was it. We would lose every year except we get Kish. And occasionally we beat Terrace and Lewistown. But most of the time we're getting our ass kicked. So what is the difference now with Kish football?
I think Kish is fortunate enough. They draw from a lot of kids. So we usually have full rosters where some teams in this league, they struggle with numbers. So our numbers have always been high since I've been a part of it, which is 4 or 5 years now. So we kind of get to pick and choose more than other teams. And I think that's a big help for us.
And what's your season record against McVeigh?
We've beat them both times, but it's been trending the wrong way, I believe, for us. So it was we didn't give up any points the first game, and the second game they had the ball and driving to win the game. So they're a very, very good team, and it's been very competitive with them. So looking forward to it.
Awesome. It's hard to beat a team 3 times, though.
Yeah.
You know that.
It is.
You got any wrinkles? You don't have to say them. Got any wrinkles that McVeigh hasn't seen yet?
I don't know. I can't speak on that. Yeah, no comment. We're trying our best. That's what I'll give you.
Okay. Nick, you're midgets, right?
Yep.
And who are you getting, McVeigh in the playoffs here? Who are you facing in the playoffs?
We play Burnham.
What's your record against them this year?
We beat them both times. The first game we beat them 34-6. In the second game we beat them in double overtime.
Wow. So is anybody here
Yep.
trying to repeat as champions?
Yeah, actually, Ian's attempting to repeat, and so is Mikey's team. Mike's team is actually attempting to repeat as well. Um, this is actually the first year, Brian, that we are full blown featuring a Mighty Might championship. It's always been like an extravaganza style for the kids. But we try to focus on the fun and fundamentals of the game, even those boys, just like Mike said, you're capable of actually doing installing plays. I mean, Brian, I'll talk because I know I mean, Coach Stoker used to run the polecat.
Yeah.
um, and Mikey's snickering because Mikey actually is well enough of a coach that he actually is able to get his boys to run the polecat.
Really?
And
Nice.
5 to
Really?
7 year old football. I mean,
5 to
I
7.
can't.
The
Yeah,
polecat.
yeah, I cannot begin to express the quality of coaches and volunteers that we have in this league, from the league level to the organization level, clean down to the coaches. I mean, we would not be able to provide the kids with such a great recreational cheer and football environment without all of these volunteers. So kudos to them. But I mean, again, the quality of coaching, the three coaches that you've got on here right now are all excellent, very much so dedicated to the cause of youth sports. And I mean, you're not going to find better guys whenever it comes to teaching these boys the right way and teaching them how to be young men and good stewards of society, honestly. Kudos to them. And like I said, kudos to every volunteer in this league. But yeah, it's not vanilla by any stretch. This league is not vanilla. We are definitely, we are definitely scrappy no matter what we do. So.
Uh, Obvious question. All you guys can answer it. How important is having a league like this to football in Mifflin County?
Very important.
Uh, Mike?
Yeah, I mean, it's great because I think whenever we started, we didn't start till like 7, 8 years old, and now we're getting the little kids in there starting at 5, and it just gives them a lot more play time. And we have the mandatory play rules, so everybody's getting action and getting all their plays in. So everyone's involved every single game.
Ian?
I think if we didn't have this league, I mean, what age are we starting at? They're 7th
Right.
grade. I think they're going to be behind the 8 ball a little bit. I don't think football is a sport necessarily that you have to start unless you want to play at like a young age. But yeah, I mean, as far as we got to get something going for the junior high level into JV and eventually the varsity. Someday these kids will be out wearing Mifflin County colors.
Travis, your thoughts?
I mean, again, to echo the sentiments of Ian and the other two. I mean, I've been standing on the soapbox recently since moving up to junior high. We all wear purple one day. So the bottom line is having this grassroots program that we do have is crucial, absolutely crucial. We as a league work in conjunction with Mifflin County football. Coach Breon is going to be making an appearance at championship weekend, watching
Nice.
the championship games. I communicate with Coach Breon on a regular basis about the status of the league and things. So again, this grassroots football that we do have going here is crucial for the development of our being a feeder program and of our junior high and varsity sports. So it's very, very important.
That's fantastic that you've been dealing with the varsity. I know John Franco, his first run at Tyrone, that's what he did. He went down and started working with the youth, and you saw what it created there. 2 state championships and all sorts of success. So that's good. Are you guys, if this is your last year at Mitchell Field, are you going to be playing in the new stadium next year?
It's in the works. To answer your question, if Coach Breon has his way, yes, we will be. And I hope I'm not. I hope Shane doesn't take offense to that. But we've had conversations in private that he does in fact want the youth league taking advantage of the new fields as well. So
That would
yes.
be awesome for the kids
Mhm.
to play in that. There's no doubt. And
Yeah.
probably for you guys to coach in it.
I end up with a lot of rubber pellets in my shoes whenever I coach on that turf field like that.
Well, I got to thank you for the like, Josh Snook. Appreciate it. I got to go one off topic for 1 second. Nick, what were your
Yeah.
thoughts on the last game at Mitchell Field? Because I know that was your stomping grounds.
To be honest with you, when I seen the last play that the Huskies had with the 4th and 16, great play, but it kind of flashed back to me to 2006 when we were playing Bald Eagle. They called it the Miracle at Mitchell Field when Chad Snook threw an interception.
I think he froze. You froze
Yeah.
a little there, Jake.
Sorry.
We got to the interception, and what?
Bald Eagle brought it out of the end zone and then ran it back in, and we tackled him for a safety to win the game.
Wow.
Just another memory, just like the Huskies had, Friday night, beautiful win, way to go out. Same thing. My 2006 year. There's been so many memories. I'm sure everybody on here can share something great, and it's just awesome to see.
So, Felmley, what do? You running back?
Yep.
How did I know that?
I don't know.
So, has the turnout, Travis, gotten better each year at the championships?
Yeah, and actually, Brian, we last year we developed a streaming platform, and we actually live streamed our championship games on to the league's YouTube channel, and we're going to be doing that again this year.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Really?
Saturday when we kick off the Mighty Might games that are being played simultaneously, we're actually going to have a dual camera, and it's going to be showing both games at the same time on the YouTube on our YouTube channel with separate links. But every single one of our games will be available on YouTube this coming Saturday and Sunday.
Well, that's pretty cool.
That is
Yeah.
awesome.
I mean, it's not super high quality. We're doing it all from our iPhones, but it's definitely not just plain Jane radio. We tie into the stadium audio, and Josh Snook actually helps us do some of our announcing over the PA, and it was a pretty cool experience. You can actually view last year's games on the YouTube channel right now, so it's all uploaded there, and it's available from last year, and same thing will be this year. We'll be, like I said, live streaming all of our games starting Saturday at 11 in the morning.
You guys have such a great social media package out there. A lot of great reviews and stuff of every week of the season. Not too many of these organizations like you guys have something like that. I just think that's really awesome. What brought this up, together this year?
Well, Kenny, actually, we started it 2 years ago whenever I took over as league president.
Okay.
Trying to get the kids as much possible recognition is really what we're going for here. And I would be remiss to say that our league IT guy, Tim, donates all of his time for the website. He also donates all of his time for those write ups. When you see the things in the Lewistown Sentinel, that is actually put together by Tim. And But the other thing is, without these exceptional coaches, we would not have those stats. It's not like we got a stat guy going to every single game. Not only are these coaches coaching, they're statting those games and they're helping us to get these kids recognition. So again, I would be remiss to leave that out. I know that Mikey, sorry, Mikey, I constantly call you Mikey. I apologize. I know that Coach Milliken and Coach Peachy and Coach Knable, all three turn in their play sheets on a religious basis and get their players, and not only their players. I have to go as far as saying Coach Milliken actually turns in and keeps stats he keeps stats for the other teams as well. He is super intense, and Coach Peachy actually he turns in a very wonderful recap of his games on a weekly basis. And without these coaches doing that, we wouldn't be able to throw it together. Because I mean, Tim actually lives in South Carolina and does this stuff all remotely for us.
Wow.
But every evening on Sundays by 6 p.m. we get this stuff in and ship it out and get it cut and reviewed and edited. And again, it's all about getting these kids the most recognition that they possibly could get.
Nice.
That's pretty cool because I wondered
Yeah.
who was doing the weekly stuff that you see in the paper, because that's unheard of for youth football. That
Mm-hmm.
usually.
I'll have to admit, I have to go back and group assistant coaches and whatnot and make sure, because sometimes when you're in a game, it's just go, go, go. And you forget what touchdown was scored in what quarter, or who scored it, or how far away it was, run or pass or whatnot. So I'm always checking back with the assistants and who did this and was this right and whatnot before I send it on into Tim. So
how rewarding is it to see your kids move on and play at the high school level? It's got to be quite cool to see.
I haven't been in it that long enough to do it. I got kids that when they started, they were 5 and now they're 10. So a few years I'll be in there in the stands watching them. But until then.
Yep, same here. I mean, my first group just hit the midgets this year, so it'll be a couple more years.
Same here. I got one in Pee Wees and one will be in Mighty Mites next year.
I will say there's been a couple kids that I've coached against that bumped up to the junior high level this year. Not necessarily varsity level, but I've seen some at the junior high level, and it's really rewarding to see these kids come together. And again, we're all going to wear purple someday. So the crosstown rivalries do dissolve rather quickly, and they realize that their teammates and their family, whenever they're putting that Huskies uniform on, you know, we had Cyrell Green close out offense and defense. He's a participant of this league. He was a Terrace Tiger whenever he grew up. That last Friday night, game-winning touchdown was from Cyrell Green on that 4th and 16 play, and then he picked that pass off to close the game out as well. And that is a league participant. He was a Terrace Tiger whenever he grew up. So this league definitely has impact at the varsity level, and you see it all across the offenses and defenses.
Awesome. What do you enjoy most, guys, about coaching? Mike?
I think it's just watching the kids develop and learn and grow, not only as a football player, but like as a person. And we kind of drive it home, respect for everybody. And term we use all the time is BIDDLE, which is the acronym for best in the league. And we tell our kids, no matter what you're doing, you need to be BIDDLE, whether it's brushing your teeth, being a brother, being a son, being a friend, everything you do needs to be BIDDLE. And that's kind of our team philosophy. And that's the one thing I want them to take moving on, is to be BIDDLE at every single thing we do.
Ian?
For me, I don't think I ever really grew up. So my little bit of a Peter Pan syndrome, but I like hanging with kids, and my wife might call me immature, but I go over early to the field and we talk about stuff and anything to do with football. So those are just the small talk and being able to hang out with the kids. Football comes secondary almost sometimes. So that's what I like.
I'm with you, bud. My wife says I need to grow up every day.
Well, if it hasn't happened by now,
It's not going to. I'm 58.
yeah. Yeah.
So, Nick, how about you? What made you get into it?
Well, it started out, we didn't have a midget team for 4 or 5 years, and they didn't have a coach. So no one really had anybody to sign up to. So I didn't want to let the kids hang. So I put my name in. Very nervous to be a coach because I'm very intense as a teacher.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I really enjoyed the kids this year learning. Uh, we had some kids that were first year kids, and we just got to see them grow. When we broke practice tonight, Coach Ebersol spoke best about it, about how you know every kid showed up to practice with an intent to learn, intent to grow, but not only that, a respect factor towards us coaches, and wanting to learn and to grow, not only as players but as a men and a woman. With Josie, we have one girl on our team, and
Oh, that's cool.
she's in there just as much as anybody else, and she's part of the team, and we really appreciate having her and being out. So yeah, just watching the kids grow, it's very nice because I tell people whether we're winning or losing, there's always something to learn. And these kids are always like sponges, just soaking it up what Coach Bill and I are telling them. So appreciate that.
Do you find you have to keep it in check a little bit, your intensity? Because I know I covered you in high school, you and Heath, and you guys were intense.
Yes and no. We have a good group of parents, and through the year, I've had a lot of parents come up, and they like that intensity. They don't take it the wrong way. They know that I have their kids' backs, and I'm trying to do the best that I can to teach them, but not only teach them as a player, but even in life. There's a way to be intense and a way not to be intense, and yes, it's a borderline. So yeah, there's times Coach Bill Eversol's got to keep me in check and say, just calm it down, Nick. So it's nice to have that, but it's nice to be intense, and it's the kids see that too, so they're fired up. So it's about motivation too. You got to motivate kids, and once they get to a certain age, they'll motivate themselves. But I was always told you got to light a fire under someone, and once you do, they'll go. So
Bentley,
Yeah.
what's Coach Knable like as a coach?
I think of him as like a very loud coach.
Loud,
best
huh?
words to describe.
Oh well, coaches. Hey, there's been a lot of great loud coaches. Travis, what about your perspective on it? You said you're coaching up in the junior high. What is it that you like so much about coaching?
I'm gonna have to harken back to my youth football days as a little mingo. I had a great group of coaches, be it Jeff Heider or the Vegas. Those were my coaches. Eli Himes as well. He went up through the junior high level as a coach with us. There's never a time that I don't run into those guys, and it's, hey, coach. And I've always looked at those men as almost like a patriarch figure in my life, and that is something that I want for my players And anybody that I come across as a coach, I want them to feel that familial aspect of coaching, and it matters to me that they feel like they're something more than just part of the team. That's always been important to me. I've always made it my work as a coach to make sure that those boys know that they're worth more than just a football player to me. And that's what the way that I've always approached the game, and continue to approach it now that I'm up at the next level.
Gotcha. See, I wanted one of you to go, I just want to dominate and destroy everybody. That's what I want to do. Just kidding. Doesn't hurt, though, to dominate. So let's get to nuts and bolts football. Mike, what do you have to do to win this weekend?
I mean, do the basics. Make sure our kids are blocking when we need them to, tackling, handoffs are good, and we might throw a pool cat play in there.
That'd be cool. The Mighty Mites. We didn't have them when I was playing. Or
Nope.
I know about the 35-yard fields. Is there any other rules that are different from what we know as typical football?
We don't have any special teams plays, so we're offense gets the ball starting on the 35. We do 15-minute running clocks, and if you're out of bounds, the clock keeps running, keeps the gameplay going, and we also play 8-on-8. So we just have on offense 5 linemen and 3 running backs or 3 backs, and then on defense we have a 3-man front, and we have strike players too in our league. So if they're a strike player, they can only play on the line. Whereas whenever we played, if you were overweight, you didn't play at all. Right? We don't have an overall weight limit, so the big boys can play also. They just can't carry the ball, which makes it nice.
Yeah. And I saw scores like 2-0.
Yep. So we don't do any special teams plays. Every touchdown is 1 point.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of discouraging if you see the score 54-0 or whatever. So we went back to baseball scores and 1-0, 2-0. You'll see scores like that now.
Gotcha. Ian, what do you have to do to win this weekend?
It may sound rather cliche, but the unforced stuff, the mental stuff, the turnovers, the flags, anything like that, knowing your assignments, knowing where to be, knowing who to block, stuff like that. And I think you got to win the physical battle too with McVaytown. They're a big, physical, strong team. I know a lot of the kids through my son wrestles with a lot of the boys. My son wrestles with Nick's son. So I'm no stranger to their personnel. They're tough kids and they can bring it. So we got to match that. We got to match that intensity level that they're going to bring.
What about you, Nick? What's the key to victory? Keys.
Execute. Just do the same thing we've done all year. Show up, be ready to play, be hungry, and execute. Going against Burnham, Anthony Everly, he's been in the league a while coaching. A lot of respect for him. I know he's going to be ready. He's going to be prepared. So we're just going to have to show up. It's going to be a tough-nosed football game, and we're going to line up and we're going to have to execute.
Tell me, what do you have to do on the weekend? What'll make you happy? 100 yards?
Win his tournament Saturday first in wrestling.
Yep.
Where are you going?
I don't know. My dad just signed me up for a wrestling tournament.
Oh, okay. I like that. I don't know where I'm going, but what the heck?
He'll hop in the car.
So is he a key to your team, Nick?
Yeah, absolutely. Bentley's a tough football player, but he shows up every day. He executes. He works hard at practice. But again, that's the whole way across our team. When we come to practice, everybody works hard. Everybody's serious. You know, Bentley's just one piece of the puzzle, and he's a big piece of the puzzle, and he works hard. Can't take nothing from him. But you know, that's one thing that I appreciate Bentley. He's very humble. You know, no matter what he does on the field or he does at practice, he shows up and works hard. He's encouraging, just very humble. There's no I in him. He's a big team player. You know, Bentley actually was a big key of putting this team together. Um, you know, when we started, we didn't. I think we were 5 days out and didn't have enough for a team.
Oh,
And
wow.
Bentley made the decision to come play for McVaytown, which was big, and it just helped put another piece to the puzzle of being where we're at. I mean, I could go on and all day, of just kids that showed up every game and got better. Xander Foltz, Carter Alexander, two kids that never played football before. Big piece of our line, and we've watched them grow on both sides of the ball, offense, defensively. Blake Speck coming from Kish and making the transition into a fullback from, I think he was receiver the year before. Runs tough, blocks well, and I mean I could go on. Colt Bratton, Trace and Yawn, and I don't want to miss anybody, but it's been very very fortunate to watch these kids grow and to play together. There hasn't been any self-centeredness or nothing, and Bentley and I spoke many times because Bentley comes every night and lifts with me. So him and Blake Speck, they lift with me every night, and they're two kids that are very humble, very eager to get better, very eager to be, good people in this world, and it's exciting to watch.
Colt's a wrestler too, isn't he, Bentley?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I thought so. Um, how many do you need to make up a team? You said you almost didn't have enough.
So we told Travis at the beginning of the year we'll play Ironman football. If we get 11 kids, we'll play. Um, I got to give a lot of credit to Travis too because, he was a big help on getting some of our kids back. Because of not having teams, some of the kids went elsewhere. And I got to give credits to these other organizations, Kish and you know. Burnham, Bentley played at Burnham for 4 years. Colt Bratton and Blake Speck went out to Kish for a couple years. We had a kid come from Derry, Decatur. That just shows the strength and the coaching ability in this league. These guys, they come up to McVaytown, and we're just brushing up on things. They come good football players, and of course, yeah, we're teaching some other things and polishing some things up. But you got to give credit where credit's due too.
So Travis, tell me, you said 2 years you've been president of the league.
Yes.
What are some of the things like that you enjoy most? What are some things that you didn't expect when you took over the league?
Late night, 1 o'clock in the morning phone calls about drama.
Yeah.
It happens, and there's times where there is ego, be it a parent. There's times that things happen where we're dealing with things where there was a fight or something amongst some spectators or something, because I've said it, honestly, football brings out the testosterone in everybody. It is a man on man, it is a macho sport. We do have a parent's code of conduct, a coach's code of conduct, and we try desperately to ensure that everybody adheres to that. And at times, we have to reference that coach's code of conduct or parents slash spectators code of conduct, and you know, hey bud, you broke this. Here's what's going to have to happen to you now. We try to keep this the most family friendly environment as we possibly can. and sometimes that happens. But I honestly wouldn't change anything over the 2 years. There's been a ton of growth within the league. Like I said, we went from piggybacking off of the actual organization. I said USA Football, but it was American Youth Football, AYF. Um, they didn't have a representative within the state of Pennsylvania. The closest one was our representative was actually out of Kissimmee, Florida.
Wow.
So I did the research on how to actually get all this stuff done, and that's something that we've accomplished in these 2 years. And like I said, the media presence, the social media presence, it just continues to grow. And it's something that we need to keep going here because these kids deserve all of the recognition because they're the ones out there performing on the field on Sundays and sometimes midweek games as well to entertain all of us and also to learn and grow as athletes and human beings.
So say an area wants to start a team. How do they go about it?
So they would actually petition the league. We've in the past couple years, we've had a couple places make a run at trying to join the league, but they didn't have a full roster, if you will. Specifically, Southern Huntington and their program were interested at one point in time. During COVID, some folks from Southern actually came down and joined because their league actually folded up during COVID. Some people came down and joined the McVeigh roster. Some people from the Huntington area, again, same league, came down and joined the Kish roster as well. They would just shoot down the valley and go to Kish. We tried keeping things going for the kids because there's nothing better than sports to outlet things and try keeping that social aspect of things going during COVID. We did that as well. Um, but if somebody were to want to join the league, they would actually petition the league if it's an organization. It's all online. All of our contact info is online as well on centralkeystone.com. League-wide contact info for every member of the board is on there.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Kenny and I are going to start a team.
Hey,
how
go
we're
for it.
how we're building the roster is we're going to have NIL money, and we're going to make kids jump to our team.
Okay.
If that's
Bentley,
yeah,
dollar bills coming your way, man.
if that's legal.
I want $10.
Belmy, you got it. If you want 10, you'll get 10. We'll build a team quick, Kenny.
Yes, we would.
So, Ian, if you'd like to, I know Nick did. Who are some of the guys on your team that have, let's give them some love that have been big for you this year?
Oh, yeah.
Did I put you on the spot?
Oh, that's fine. We've had some old. I got an older group of kids with. Well, I got Wyatt Hassinger. I've had him since he's been 5. He's a football player. Cannon Moyer, he likes to tackle. I got some big linemen up front. Emmett Jackson. Ben Peachy's our snapper. Who else do I got? I got Colt Atherton or Jace Atherton.
Wrestler.
Yep, he came out a couple years ago for us, and then I got my son Duke Peachy.
Wrestler.
Yep, and
so I'm meeting Duke's dad for the first time.
My boy, and I don't think it is breaking news, but he broke his arm or he broke a bone in his elbow. I know Nick saw him out at school with the cast on the other day, so he's out of the championship game, but kind of got to go with the guys that we got. I don't think who else I got? Julian Altieri too. You probably heard of him. He's a big boy, big fast kid. So that's kind of my group of older kids. I don't want to be missing anyone. Oh, I've had Colton Bumgardner too. He's played a lot of football for us. So yeah, we're kind of. I got close to a full roster, around 28, 29 kids. So I think they're spaced out like first, second, third year, about right around 10, 10, 10. So kind of evenly filled out roster. But like I said, I don't want to miss any of the older kids. Colton Kaufman, he's a big lineman for us. So lots of help though with the younger kids too, plugging in holes where we need them. And next year it's going to be their team. So hopefully they'll be ready.
Mike, any kids you would like to name?
Oh yeah, we got quite a few. I mean, I think we have probably the biggest roster with 25 kids. So we got a lot of talent. We got a lot of depth. Bennett Harmon, awesome. He's a quarterback and plays corner. Quay Vogt, same thing. He's one of my running backs. Jack Wagner, Leighton Glick. We have a bunch of new guys this year too who have made a huge impact defensively for us. Carter Geza, Oakley Maurer, Tucker. He's our center. He does amazing. Who else am I missing? We got Grady Trutt. He had a pretty bad leg injury this year and has turned around, and he's done amazing for us defensively. I just can't wait to see how these guys do next year as well.
Awesome. Kenny, aren't you going to be involved in this somehow with the special needs team?
Oh yeah, we'll be playing Sunday at 1:00.
Against?
Right now, I think it's going to be Lake Chevrolet Olds. I guess the county commissioners couldn't get enough players, so they had to bow out. So,
are you kidding? Kevin didn't want to have a heart attack.
So,
could you picture Codish trying to run? Come on, Kenny.
He was just honored in that relay team on Friday night. Come on, Carson.
Yeah, long time ago. Now, no way. He's running anywhere. But that's cool. Kenny, you've been covering this. How long? I mean, the different forms of it. This Super Bowl. How long have you been covering it?
Well, it started with the JVFL, and then whenever the Central Keystone started, I picked up with them. So, gosh, I don't know. It's been like forever, but it's always something that I look forward to every year, and I like to cover every game and give all the kids the shout outs that they deserve. And it's great that we have an organization like this. It's a fun weekend to see all the talent that the local area has, and a lot of great coaches, like Travis said. It's just a great weekend of football. If you're a football fan, you need to go out and watch these kids.
Absolutely, go support them. They're our future. I mean, there's no other way around it. These guys are going to be Huskies, and get behind them now, man. Encourage them, all that good stuff.
A lot of good kids.
What's that?
A lot of good kids coming through. A lot of good talent.
Let me ask you a question, Nick. You got any children?
I have 4.
Holy shit. What are their ages?
I have 2 boys, 2 girls. They go from 10, 8, 5, and 2.
Do they play anything?
So Lincoln's in the Pee Wee program. He plays football and wrestles. And then my daughter cheers for the Pee Wees. And then my youngest boy he shows up every night and practices like he's playing. So
I was going to say, I asked your brother once if he was like Jake, being a wrestler instead of football, how he thought about that. And he was pretty cool with it. I mean, Jake had a good freshman season. I can't wait to see what he does this year.
Very excited to see what Jake does this year. I can tell you Jake put in a lot of hard work. this summer, working out, lifting, getting stronger, and Jake's confidence is very high and very exciting. Like he's very excited to go. So looking forward to that. But I wanna say, looking across this league, um, there's some athletes in this league, and I hate to say this, but I hope Mifflin County don't screw up with them because there's some good athletes and from Duke Peachy to Calvin Apikoski from McVeigh Town, the Wyatt like I could sit here and name 10 kids just from 2 teams, and I'm telling you, just don't mess it up because them kids put in the hard work in football, wrestling. If they can just get into the gym and keep it going through high school, I'll say it. I think Mifflin County could go into the states with a team like that. 100%.
Travis, what do you think about that? Is the talent there?
The talent's definitely there. It's getting these kids to stick together.
Yep.
I have my opinion about certain things. I don't know if this is the proper platform, but honestly, people don't realize how much we get stuff a little bit twisted in Mifflin County whenever it comes to and Carson, you're a sports historian, so is Kenny. As much as everybody says we're a baseball community, we've only ever had one man from Mifflin County make a major league roster.
Right.
We have Super Bowl rings in Mifflin County. Like, we are a football community. And people don't realize how much we're a football community. We have people like Dave Bradley that played for the Green Bay Packers. We have guys like Gary Rao and Don DeArmond that still hold records at North Carolina State University. People don't realize how much football carried a massive impact locally. We focus too much, in my opinion, on other sports. I mean, whether it be Ralph Baker, like I said, or Dave Bradley, people playing for Penn State University. Dave Bradley signed $1 million signing bonus with the Chicago Fire in the AFL whenever he left the Green Bay Packers. $1 million was unheard of back in that day.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's somebody that carried that level of talent from Mifflin County, Pennsylvania. And people don't realize that. We don't talk enough about the history, the rich football history that we have in Mifflin County. You don't hear it often enough. You don't.
No, and especially the Euphema teams.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They had guys. Their 3 running backs were all Division I recruits.
Yeah.
All of them. Junior
People
Powell,
don't talk about that
Junior
enough.
Powell, Penn State. Fred Stoich of Iowa. Gary Sprout, North Carolina.
Yeah. People don't talk about that type of stuff often enough, Brian. We don't beat our football drum enough locally. And we have some really talented people, like Nick said, coming up through that are multi-sport athletes where they could have a huge impact at a post-secondary level. And it's something that I'm really looking forward to for Mifflin County sports as well. There's a lot of really solid, talented kids that are dedicated to their craft, be it football or wrestling or even baseball. It's crazy to see, but again, like I said, and we don't beat our football drum enough in Mifflin County. There's a ton, like you just said, those Euphema teams that had 3 Division I recruits on the same stinking team. That's unheard of.
Mhm.
That's unheard of.
And I remember Dick Gingrich.
Yep.
Saying in 1961, Chief was good, Lewistown was good, and Chief used to play at the field at Dairy Township Elementary.
Yep, out in Yeagertown.
And he said there was so many people that showed up. They were sitting in the trees.
Yep.
To watch the games. Sitting in the trees. So it was here. You're right. It's a rich tradition. I think it's because, we had those lean years at Lewistown.
Yeah.
For so long, everybody got bummed out. But You're right. Doesn't mean during those lean years there wasn't talented guys playing.
No, I mean, you look at somebody like Joe Stewart that played for Lewistown and went
Mhm.
to Richmond and then actually was with the Raiders organization for a little while. I mean, there was talent still in Mifflin County. There really was. But like you said, things got a little bit lean. People started leaning away from it, no pun intended. And it stinks because, like I said, too often we forget how successful of a football and rich of a football history we actually have in Mifflin County.
Here's a question for all of you. A lot of times, what happens, and it's hard to put your head around. You'll have kids go right up through and then not go out for varsity. How can we? Why does it happen? One, and how can we stop that?
I, do you guys want to say anything, or you want me to go first here, guys?
I
I
don't. I think that sometimes if you look back and you might have a favorite coach that you remember from the football team. You look back and you have a guy that you didn't really relate to. I don't know specifically, but some of these kids kind of get a bug up their butt about who's coaching the team and forget about, the love of the game that they have. So, I mean, regardless of who's coaching the team or what you think of them, if you love the game of football, you should be out there playing on that field, I feel. Now, I don't know what else is the cause of that, but I know some of that is, I would say, some politics in it.
Absolutely.
What do you think, Mike?
I agree with Ian. I mean, if you love the game, just keep playing.
Mhm.
If you're doing a good job, you're going to get on the field. Just show up every day to practice and work your hardest. So
I also think it might be sometimes it's like instant gratification. If you're not the guy out there starting, well, then I don't want to play. Whereas, it's tough. You may be the second string guy for a while. You may have to wait your turn or wait for an injury. But I mean,
Well,
that's life. We can't be quitting just because of that.
I don't want to put you guys on the spot, but how much of it could be parents too?
I think a lot of it has to do
Look
with
at
that.
look at Nick smiling ear to ear.
I think I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, Brian. I'm not.
Because I won't name
There
names,
is
but I have heard parents
no.
say, if my kid isn't starting, he's not playing.
Mhm.
Right there, brother. Right there. That everybody, as much as everybody thinks their kid is the best at something, sometimes your kid isn't quite the best. The bottom line is you are not at practice every single day when you reach that varsity level. Those practices are closed. My practices are closed as well at the 7th and 8th grade level, where the parents aren't there seeing what they're seeing here. And you can't discount the fact that, like Nick said, referenced earlier, he referenced, he said, I can sit here and run down 10 athletes that are great caliber athletes off of 2 rosters. When you get to that junior high level, you're mixing 5 rosters of quality kids in there,
Yep.
and you as a coach, I don't look at it through the lens of, well, this kid played for Burnham. I know this kid, so he's going to play for me. It isn't about the politics. The best 11 are going on the field. And unfortunately, too often there is parents that think that their kid is that superstar, and he might need a change of position. He might need the ability to go to, whether he's on the outside at receiver, let's move him in at slot. Let's have him play that H back position if he's a little bit bigger of a kid, or bump him into tight end if he doesn't quite have that top gear. And you do have a parent or two that's going to stand there and say, "Oh no, he played on the outside the whole way up through. That's where he needs to be." Well, that's not where he's at on this team. And that does happen, Brian, to answer your question. And I don't know if these guys would echo that sentiment at times. I don't think that it's such a big thing at the youth level. But again, there is parents out there that will have the audacity to walk up to a coach and say, my son should be here. And those parents don't see this stuff on a regular basis. They don't see the effort that the other kids are putting in either.
If Mike, Ian, Nick, have you guys ever experienced a parent that was like that? Or is that not really happening in youth sports?
I would say, fortunately, I haven't. Kind of like what Travis said. I got 4 or 5, 6 coaches there that are both have eyeballs in their head too, and we're seeing the same stuff. We're seeing the effort, we're seeing the execution, and I mean, we're all in one accord on who should be playing where or how much playing time. And I mean, some of these kids too, like you have volunteer coaches. Well, typically they're dads of kids on the team, and we have kids that they're our coaches' sons that don't play quite as much as kids that rightfully earned that spot. So, I mean, I don't think, like he said, I mean, if you're there and you're watching every practice, it's kind of cut and dry from our end.
Mike, you don't run into that in like the your level of football. I would hope not.
No, I mean, we kind of hammer home that we are a team, so we're going to put the best guys out there every single play. And if we put you out there, it's to help your team. We don't have any individuals out there, and if we have anyone out there who thinks that they're better than everyone else, then they're going to sit, because we want the team mentality for everyone moving forward with everyone, so that when they get to the next level, they know they're not going to play every single down, but when their team needs them, they're going to be in there. But yeah, we don't really have any parents that are making comments like that.
Nick, I know they don't with you. They see that bald head of yours and that beard and the jacked up muscles, and they're not going to bitch, right?
No, honestly, I'm the president of McVeigh organization, and at all 3 levels, it's quiet. I mean, parents are very supportive, and I'll touch back on the question on the high school level. I think it's politics a lot of the time, but in the same token, the mentality has changed to where if your kid's not playing, do something about it. Go get in the gym. Go work hard. Do something about it to get on the
Yes.
field. There's too many kids out there, or parents think their kids are starting, but they don't put no extra work in. I've been in the gyms, and I'll tell you, over the last 5-6 years, the most consistent person that I've seen at the gym was Trey Codd. He was in there working hard. Look what he did at a high school level. That's the mentality you have. I tell my boy all the time, if you want to do something on the field, or you want the ball, or you want to play this position, then without a shadow of doubt, work hard and show coach that that's where you need to be. That mentality's changed, and it's a shame. I call it the old school mentality that's worked for so long, that's ran this country. And my personal opinion, we coddle them too much. Sometimes you got to be tough love. Get out there, get in the gym, and work hard. And as a whole, that'll change the aspect of the game. Just like Travis said, you might not be a running back, you might be a wide receiver, you might not be a wide receiver, you might be a tight end. Buck up, get in the gym, work hard, and get better. That's my mentality, and I think that's what's been lost. When you go to the schools, are these weight rooms filled? When you go to Tyrone, we were coming up through. Tyrone was a powerhouse because they were in the weight room, they were lifting. That's a big thing that I think as a whole, just to speak, Mifflin County needs to go find a trainer that can work with these kids at all levels of sports and make our kids faster, make our kids stronger. But it got to start at home too, to push them to do that.
Absolutely.
So that's just my opinion.
I agree 1,000%. My favorite is, Travis, I've covered a lot of wrestling in my life, is when I hear a parent go, my kid should be starting, but the coach, that kid's his favorite. Wrestling, you have to eliminate.
It doesn't
If you
work that way.
can't
It
beat
doesn't
the
work that way
guy,
in wrestle off.
right? If you can't beat the guy, you're not starting. It's as simple as that. And yet you'll still hear them. My kid should be there.
No, your kid didn't win in wrestle offs, bud. That's not the way it works. That's and wrestling, it's you and another person out there. You are not absolutely 110%. Nobody else is out there doing it for you, and you don't.
No.
Unlike football, you don't got 10 other teammates to cover for you. So
But
it's you
the
and only you.
funniest one I ever heard from a parent is, and I won't name names, obviously, but I was helping out at Indian Valley Elementary a long time ago. And this parent, who you could tell never wrestled in their life, you just could tell. And they're out there, basically the kid is not listening to us. And he's listening to his dad. And I finally I couldn't take it anymore. I said, dude, we're trying to teach this kid, okay? Let us do that. That's our job. You be supportive. And he's like, well, I was trying to teach my kid the butterfly. Like, what the hell are you talking about? What wrestling hold is called the butterfly? Tell me, Bentley. Do you practice the butterfly?
Never heard of it.
Exactly. I'm sure Duke does too.
Heard that one either.
The butterfly. So the dude's making up stuff, and it's like, oh man, you're hurting your kid. You're hurting your kid. But that's good though. You got a lot of parents that are dedicated though. I don't want to make this a downer, but yeah, it's a good thing. So give me the times now. When's everything going down?
Again, I already covered the Saturday lineup, but I'll start again on Saturday. Saturday at 11 a.m. starts our 5 versus 6 and 3 versus 4 simultaneous matchups with our Mighty Might division, and then we head directly into the Pee Wee division. We're gonna have our 5 and 6 matchup, who is Terrace Tigers versus Derry Decatur Cyclones. And then moving it up through from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock, that game's taking place. And then 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock, you're going to have the Burnham Bulldogs versus the Juniata Little Indians. And then from starting around 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock, somewhere in that neighborhood, you're going to have Coach Ian Peachy's Kish Indians versus Coach Seth Napakowski's McVeigh Town Eagles squad for the Pee Wee Championship for the Central Keystone Youth Football and Cheer. And then Sunday morning, we actually have the kickoff for the day is going to be our 3 versus 4 matchup in the midget division, and that starts at 11 a.m. and that's going to be Terrace versus playoff weekend actually starts tomorrow down at Kish Park, starting at 4:45. The Kish Indians are having a play-in game against Derry Decatur. So that 3 seed of Terrace Tigers is going to be facing off at 1 p.m. versus the winner of tomorrow evening's game between Derry Decatur and Kish Indians. And then after that, we have Kenny and the special needs team's going to be there facing the Lake dealerships between 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock. And then from 3 to 5 is going to be Coach Milliken and his Kish Indians versus Coach Josh Hartman and the McVeigh Town Eagle Mighty Might squad. It's going to be a heck of a game. Both of those championship games that I've already mentioned are going to be barn burners. They really are. They're going to be contentious matchups. It's going to be some quality youth football. And then after that Mighty Might Championship, like I said, it's the inaugural Mighty Might Championship that the league's hosting. Right after that, we're rolling right into our marquee matchup from our marquee division of the midgets, and that's going to be the McVeytown Eagles versus the Burnham Bulldogs, and that's going to cap off the weekend with a big bang. Should be a really, really excellent, well executed game. I'm really looking forward to that. I've never sat in my 2 years as president. I've never sat there and been like, oh man, I got to sit here all championship weekend like this. Whether I coached in it last year during championship weekend, it is quality football because, like you said, Brian, these are the third time these teams are meeting, so they know tendencies by now.
Oh
There's going
yeah.
to be a couple. There's going to be a couple wrinkles that can be thrown in here and there, but it is going to be quality football. You're going to see some smash mouth football, and it's going to be very contentious games, top to bottom. And I'm really looking forward to the weekend.
Awesome. And Kenny, you're going to cover all this, right?
Yeah, I'll be covering Sunday. I have our friend Josh Yoder covering Saturday because I'll be at a wedding. But
Oh,
I'll
okay.
be there night bright and early on Sunday though, and cover the day's festivities.
Awesome. Awesome. Guys, sorry I was late getting on, but I appreciate you hanging out with me. It was a great show. I really enjoyed it. And good luck to all of you over the weekend here.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks,
you.
guys.
Thanks so much for having us, Brian.
Anytime, buddy. Anytime. So that's Travis McCullough, the league president. Mike Milliken, the Mighty Mike Kish coach. Ian Peachy, the Kish Pee Wee coach. And, of course, Nick Knable, the McVeytown coach, with Bentley Felmley. Bentley, you better still be hitting those weights, buddy.
Nope.
Every night. He don't have a choice. He's with me. He goes.
There you go. That's good, Nick. Work them hard.
He works hard. He got a great work ethic.
I want to see you winning a bunch of tournaments this year, Felmley.
Yep. I can't wait to start wrestling.
All right, buddy. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Yep. Thank you.
Take
Thank
care.
Come out and support. Yep.
Thanks a lot. Have a great weekend, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye. All right, Ken.
Oh,
That was pretty good.
it was. It was.
Sorry for coming on late.
Oh, no problem. No problem.
I am working on, unfortunately, when you help out with the Sentinel, this year I'm working on political articles
Mm.
for the upcoming election, and I lost track of time.
Oh, that happens.
No, you know how crazy it is to look up and see it's 7:40, and you're like, wait a minute, I'm forgetting something. Oh my God. I got people waiting for me on a show. All right, let's get the scores last week. Final
Okay.
week of the season. Juniata 21-13 over Upper Dauphin. Myersdale 14-12 over Mount Union. Bald Eagle 15-14 over Somerset. Richland 41-14 over Bellefonte. Phillipsburg 35-28 over Johnstown. That miracle game, Mifflin County 21-18 over Redland. Get their final win at Mitchell Field in a crazy game. State College 58-55 over Bishop McDevitt. They had a stream of it, a replay that I watched over the weekend, and what a game.
That's more of a basketball score than a football
Yeah.
score. Wow.
And then finally, last game of the year, Penns Valley gets their first win, 34-14 over Westmont.
Hmm.
Well, playoff teams, we have 4, which I didn't know about. There is I was told like a week or two ago that there's a sub-regional in 5A. Which I didn't think there was. Mifflin County did not make the playoffs.
Wow. Did that just start?
Yeah, this year.
Hmm.
It's the champion in the points. Champion in District 6, District 8, District 9, District 10.
Hmm.
Will all meet. Right now, we have Juniata has a bye.
Mm-hmm.
They are 4A. And State College has a bye to start out.
Mm.
So our two teams that are playing Friday night, District 6 4A, number 3 seed Johnstown, 2-8 against number 2 seed Bellefonte, 6-4.
Mm.
Who do you got in that one, Kenny?
I got Bellefonte running away with it, 35-7.
Yeah, I think it's going to be that bad too, 41-10. Finally, as soon as I can click the button, we have in District 6 AA, Marion Center, the 3rd seed, the 6th seed, 7-3 takes on 3rd seed Mount Union, 8-2.
I think this is going to be a surprisingly close game. Even though Mount Union's at home, I still think it's going to come down to probably the last possession. So I'm going to say 21-17 Mount Union.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a close game too, but I'm going to give it to Mount Union because they got home field. I'm going to say 24-20. That's it. Also this year in Double A. Thanks, you too, Josh.
Yep. See you, Josh.
Also this year, the Double A playoffs only the no, is it Double A or Triple A? Triple A. Only the top 4 made it instead of the top 8, so that kept Bald Eagle out as well.
I wondered.
So that's our 4 playoff teams in the area: Juniata, State College, Bellefonte, and Mount Union. And we wish them the best of luck this year.
Most definitely.
So, do we have any shout outs before we get out of here?
Sure.
All right, let's go, buddy.
Okay. Shout out to the Bellefonte boys soccer team. They captured the District 6 Class AAA championship yesterday in what was also a miracle with 39 seconds. Connell Stavanger plastered the game winner, hitting from long distance at the 30 and propelling them into as champions. So against their Hollidaysburg. So congratulations. Bellefonte goalie Eli Davis was quite busy. Had 15 saves on the night. Had a couple shot right at him. A lot of missiles, and he was able to keep the Tigers away from scoring in the second half. So
Awesome.
great job. Shout out to the Juniata boys soccer team. They defeated Richland 3-0 on a great team effort. That puts them in the championship game for Class AA tomorrow up here at Bald Eagle area. So good luck to the Indians and Coach Jared Byler.
Nice.
Over the weekend, District 6 cross country saw quite a few people make it for the state competition in Hershey for Bellefonte. Addison Fry and Natalie Jolie's punched their ticket. On the boys' side, Caden Williams and Maverick Muchmore. So congratulations to the Red Raiders for taking 4. we'll get off the subject now or go to the Mifflin County boys and girls soccer teams from the Mifflin County Youth Soccer. In the 4th and 5th Rec League division, Kish Bank finished the season as champions, winning 2-0 in the title game against the Unimark. So, great job. And then in the little guys, the 2nd and 3rd grade division, the BMS team repeated as champions, defeating Harshbargers 5-0. So the future of the soccer league is also looking pretty good. A lot of talent there as well.
Nice.
The East Juniata girls soccer team won over the weekend, winning 1-0 over Southern Columbia. However, last night they lost 1-0, so they are officially out. But it was a great season. In the contest on Saturday, Addie Feltman hit the lone goal. So great job and a great season for them. On the back to cross country, the boys from Mifflin County saw 3 make it to go to Hershey. Carter Smith, of course, he continues his historical run. Guess where he finished?
First.
Oh yeah, 1524.60. So he'll be joined by teammates Wyatt Kaufman and Reese Cubison. So the team of 3 heading to the sweetest place on earth. They finished as a team at 2nd place, which leads us to the next one. Is a shout out to the State College boys cross country team. They finished 1st. So congratulations to the Little Lions. And then the last one is Cyrell Green. We talked about him earlier today. He had caught a 55-yard bomb from quarterback Fletcher Wilson, and then later on caught an interception to secure the 28-18 win over Redlands. So great job and a great night at Mitchell Field as they close the gates on high school football.
Awesome. Awesome way to end it.
Mm-hmm.
I got a shout out.
Okay.
Juniata cross country.
Okay.
The boys team won the AA championship. Wyatt Stroup came in 1st. And on the girls' side, Sylvia Brubaker won the girls' AA championship. So she will be making the trip to the Parkview course in Hershey this Saturday.
Nice.
And I want to give a shout out to the Los Angeles Rams for kicking the Minnesota Vikings butt all over the field. Rams are healthy, and here we come.
Yeah, and you're only a game behind out of 1st? So,
half a game.
Half a game, nice. And I have to give a shout out to Russell Wilson. I didn't think he should be the starting quarterback, but here again, that's why we do this podcast, and I'm not on the sidelines. Tomlin put him in, and it looked like it was the best move for the team. So it looks like I know it's early; it's only 2 games in, but it looks like he still has some life in him.
Do you see what the Ravens did?
No, what did they get? Somebody in a trade?
At the trade deadline, they got Deontay Johnson.
Oh, jeez.
Uh-huh.
Rich get richer.
Uh-huh. So you're going to put him with Zay Flowers and Rashad Bateman and Mark Andrews, Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Not bad.
No, not bad at all.
So what do you got coming up besides the youth football? Are you doing that game at Belfont?
No, I'm actually It's going to be family week here from here on out. Tomorrow I go with my grandkids, and I'll go trick or treating with them down in Millerstown. And then Friday, I have a wedding rehearsal down in Harrisburg. And then Saturday, my stepdaughter will be getting married, and I'll spend the whole day celebrating her wedding nuptials. So,
Awesome.
and then Sunday, I'll be right back at it down at Mitchell Field one last time, and cover the second day of Central Keystone football.
Awesome. Awesome. Sounds like a good weekend.
Yeah.
All right, that's going to wrap it up for us. Once again, sorry I got on late. We won't do that again, but thank you for hanging with us. We'll be back next week with an all-new episode of the Press Box. For Kenny Varner, I'm Brian Carson. Thanks for listening. Have a great rest of your week and an even better weekend.
Aloha, everybody.